As you guys can see, I'm still using old shit because obviously nobody plays Black Ops 2 anymore to send me footage. The game's that fucking bad, man. But anyway, people who play numerous video games know that at some point, all developers copy from one another. This is an undeniable fact of video games. All developers take some ideas that other games implemented, and they use their ideas to create elements to their games. Now, Call of Duty has taken ideas from other games, and other games have obviously taken ideas from Call of Duty. Everything from perks to kill streaks, game mode, scoring system, challenge type systems, all that shit. Everything has been directly taken from other games or inspired by other games, and vice versa. People obviously take from Call of Duty and shit like that. Now we'll get back to this idea in a minute, because the first things first, I want to get into the 9 perks I would plan on rolling out in my game. As I stated in the prior video, I would get rid of the tier system, which would become more obsolete than fucking Gangnam Style. God, that shit is fucking annoying, man. Oppa, Gangnam Style. Fuck that bullshit, man. Anyway, along with the 9 perks, I would bring back the pro perks that elevated each perk. And I could already hear the groans about this shit in the comment section. But here's the reality. If a perk in its base form is already better than the other perks, why would I ever bother taking another perk? I mean, think about that for a second. If the perk only comes in one flavor, and that one flavor is better than anything else in the game, what incentive do I have to play with some other shit? None. The pro perk at least adds an upgrade to the perk, and it gives people a reason to play with different shit in the game. And my perk system is completely stolen from Crysis. Fuck it, man. I ain't ashamed to admit that shit. I don't like Crysis itself. I play the game, it's not really something that I do enjoy because I'm not into the whole alien shit, but I do like how they upgrade the nanosuit with their version of pro perks. Now, they stole all that shit from Call of Duty. Now, here's what I would do. Each perk would have an option of 3 upgrades to the perk, just like Crysis. You can only select 1 upgrade at a time, but you have the option of 3 pro upgrades with all 9 of the perks. Now, I know this almost gets away from the idea of simplicity, but the reality is, when perks are too basic and too easy to stack up into something overpowered, the game becomes mundane. If people could take 3 perks that are completely overpowered, everybody will take those perks. Giving people the option to make characters more customized is always better. Instead of just having my 9 perks, this game now offers 36 elements of different perks. Now, in the interest of time, I'm going to break this video into 2 parts, and tomorrow's video will pick up right where this one left off. Instead of rushing through all 9 perks that I would roll out, I'm going to do about half this video, and the other half tomorrow, so that I can go into enough detail to explain these shits. Because the fact is, if I tried to put all 9 in this video, I'd be rushing through the motherfucker, and I don't want to do that. Now, here's how my perks will work. Let's start with the first one, something everybody knows, extreme conditioning. It allows you to run longer in the game, and no, it will not be unlimited sprint. I like the idea of having a longer sprint, but I do not like the idea of having unlimited sprint where you can just run like a motherfucker. Anyway, when you complete whatever challenge is laid out, you will unlock 3 pro perks. And I like the idea of how Black Ops laid out challenges for pro perks. You remember we had to complete a few objectives that were related to the ability of the perk. So I would go back to that concept of how to unlock them. Now, with extreme conditioning, the first pro perk will give you the ability to climb up shit quicker, something we've all seen before. The second is to take no damage when falling from high platforms. And you guys know you've seen that shit plenty of times. And the final one is a real cool item that I'm adding to the game, a wider UAV screen. I'm sure people are wondering, how the fuck would you do that? Now, I don't know exactly how to implement this motherfucker, but there are 2 basic ways you can do this. One is literally just making the UAV screen a touch bigger or wider or whatever the fuck. Something that literally shows it a little bit bigger on your screen, allows you to see more of the map. The second idea would be actually keeping the map the same size on the screen, but you zoom out so that you can see a little bit more of the map. In other words, you can see more square footage of the map, as opposed to seeing such a small area that we now have on the current UAV screen. Now, I'm not sure which one I would choose, or if I do both, who knows. But the third pro perk for extreme conditioning would be a slightly larger UAV screen. The idea behind this perk is that since you're running and gunning, this allows you the chance to see more of the map. If you have extreme conditioning and you can run faster, the least you can do is be able to see a little further, right? But again, you can only select one of those 3 items at any given time. You cannot have all 3 on the perk at the same time. You cannot climb up shit, have no fall damage, and the wider UAV screen. You must select one of those options if you choose extreme conditioning to be one of your perks. So the idea behind this is you have to be wise in what you select and how you want your character to actually empower itself during one of your matches. Now with that logic in mind, let's go through the next 4 perks in this video. Like I mentioned, tomorrow's video we'll do the other half, and we're just going to do 5 today. Sleight of hand, like I mentioned, would return as a perk because this shit is not a fucking gun attachment. Fucking idiots over at Treyarch, you know what, but anyway, I'm not going to get into this shit. First pro perk is going to allow you to switch to a secondary weapon quicker, which is pretty standard for the game. We've all seen that shit plenty of times. Second pro perk allows you to release grenades quicker and return back to your gun after you throw the motherfucker. As you guys know, there's a little bit of a delay from when you throw the grenade to when your gun comes back up. So if you have this perk on, it'll allow you to throw any kind of grenade, special grenade, regular grenade, claymore, equipment, basically whatever the fuck you want to do. It'll allow you to get back to your normal gun almost instantly, as opposed to having that delay where you become vulnerable to the other team. The third item for the pro perk is something new that I thought of on my own, and yes, I'm gonna take credit for this shit. When you come across a gun on a map and you pick it up, the gun will automatically refill the clip as you pick it up. So if you pick up a gun and it has 8 bullets in the chamber, with this sleight of hand pro perk, it will allow you to pick up that gun and the ammo in the clip will automatically refill. Now this won't give you spare bullets. Basically, it's going to take the bullets you already have in reserve and it'll fill up your clip. But it will not give you a full reserve ammo. It will only refill the bullets that are in your clip instantly. So as soon as you pick up the gun, if it had 8 bullets, it's automatically going to jump up to 30, or it'll jump up to whatever number you had in reserve in the spare clips. It will not give you the full complement of bullets. There is a difference, and the reason why there's a difference is because that's coming up in our next perk, which is Scavenger. Scavenger also returns in my game with the ability to only replenish ammo. The base perk does not allow you to replenish grenades, special grenades, lethal launcher ammo. The only thing that I would allow is the lock-on launcher, you know, for vehicles and shit like that. That's the only thing I would allow to fill, but nothing lethal. If it's like an RPG or one of those lock-on shits that allows you to kill people, not working. If it's only a lock-on for a vehicle, that's the only thing I would consider allowing, but I have to think about that a little further because obviously you don't want things that are too overpowered. Anyway, pro perk number 1 will be the usual. You get the extra reserve clips that we're all used to, whatever it is. I think it's like 3, 4, 5 clips or whatever the fuck, but anyway, you're gonna get extra reserve clips. Pro perk number 2 will be the ability to replenish special grenades only. No lethal grenades in this bitch being replenished. Only special grenades. Fuck all that shit, man. I don't want fucking people having unlimited grenades up in this motherfucker. Hell no. Special grenades only. And the third pro perk will allow you to pick up a gun and restock the entire ammo supply. Now, this is similar, but different to the sleight of hand perk that I already mentioned. Sleight of hand only replenishes your clip, but it doesn't give you more bullets. Scavenger pro perk will give you all the bullets, but it will not refill your clip. So going back to my original example, let's say you pick up a gun and it has 8 bullets in the chamber. What will happen is when you pick up the gun, all your reserve ammo will be refilled, but you will still remain with 8 bullets in the chamber. Now, if you happen to have this Scavenger Pro mod and the Sleight of Hand Pro mod on at the same time, every time you pick up a gun, it will refill the chamber and it will refill your spare clips. That would be a cool setup right there. And I know people are going to sit here and say, oh, that's overpowered. No, no, no. It will not be overpowered. It'll just allow you to pick up a gun, give you a full clip, and a full reserve. But obviously, you need to have both of those perks attached to be able to do that. It's a pretty cool combo and something I would actually personally use all the time, because I know I'm like fucking a kleptomaniac around the map picking up guns and shit like that. Moving on to the 4th perk, Dead Silence. Same shit as always, no footsteps when you move around. Pro perk number 1 would be Lightweight, or the ability to move around faster on the map. I actually love that ability. I like the ability to move faster, but I didn't want that to be a main perk, combine that with Extreme Conditioning. It had to be a pro perk combined with Dead Silence. Pro perk number 2 is the ability to hear noises around you a little bit louder. Obviously, you know, if you're being all quiet and shit, this should give you the advantage of hearing enemies around you. So, if you have this perk on, you'll be able to hear motherfuckers from like across the map and shit. Now, I don't know the distance or how far you'll be able to hear a motherfucker, but obviously we've had this perk long time enough. It'll give you the ability to hear a motherfucker that's within range. Got it? Pro perk number 3 is the ability to avoid low-level radars in the game or UAVs, as long as you're moving around like Black Ops 2 currently has set up. Yes, I do like that idea where you have to be moving forward and shit like that so that you're not picked up on radar. But this is your only radar avoiding perk in the game. The only one. Now, I mentioned low-level UAVs for a reason, because eventually I'm going to be discussing kill streaks where I revamp that whole system, but I just want you guys to make a mental note of this for now. This perk, Dead Silence Pro perk number 3, is going to allow you the ability to avoid low-level UAVs as long as you're moving around. And make no mistake about it, this is not blind eye. It is only the low-level UAVs that I will be rolling out on the kill streaks, and you guys will be able to see that once I do my kill streak video. My 5th perk, and which will be the last one for this video, is called Sabotage, and basically this is my version of Sit Rep or Hacker or whatever the fuck. Basically, it's the ability to see explosives through walls around the map. It's been around the game forever, so yes, we are keeping this motherfucker. Pro perk number 1 allows you to hack enemy equipment and use it as your own, similar to the way Black Ops 2 has right now. Pro perk number 2 is something cool that I thought of. It allows you to mark enemy explosives on the map so that your teammates can see them just like you. Now think about this for a second. This is a perk that gives a team an extra perk. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine how helpful this will be in a team setting? Now, I haven't figured out how the hell you'd mark these explosives. You know, it could be something where you actually have to press a button on your controller, or you just stare at this shit long enough, you know, like you're downloading something like that. But whatever it is, it'll give your teammates the same ability you have to see explosives around the map. Now, when you die, that ability will be taken away from enemies. So if you mark something on the map and they can all see it, but you die, that mark will be taken away. You'd have to go back and remark that motherfucker every time after you die. If your teammates shoot it, or obviously it explodes somehow, it'll make the power obviously disappear until you mark something else. But you can mark as many explosives on the map as possible. People are using Claymore, C4, whatever the fuck it is. If you mark it, your teammates can see it. When you die, your teammates can no longer see that shit. Finally, the 3rd pro perk will give you the ability to download and capture objectives quicker. And I'm sure this is going to be one people take all the time. Now, I'm not sure the percentage of how much quicker it'll be, you know, whether it's 10%, 15%, 25%, whatever the fuck it is. But this is for the objective players. You can now capture flags quicker, you can now capture headquarters, you can plant, defuse bombs quicker, you name it. It's an objective-based perk that allows you to do all those things that other teammates don't want to do. You know, the kid sitting in the back of the map waiting for you to capture the fucking flag and shit, like, oh, don't even get me started on this bullshit. But anyway, that perk is really meant for the objective type player who wants to be able to do shit quicker because the teammates are fucking deadweights. So anyways, we're gonna cut this video right here because, like I said, I want to do the other 4 perks in tomorrow's video because I don't want this to turn into a 25-minute video. So that's the basics of what you have. We have 9 perks that are going to be coming out, and each perk will have 3 pro abilities, and the pro abilities can only be equipped one at a time. So you cannot equip all 3 perks on one. You can't say, well, I like extreme conditioning, I want to have all 3, can those be my 3 perks? No, you can only pick 1 base perk and 1 pro perk from the idea, so that way you can level out your character as basically any way you want. So with that being said, as always, rate, comment, subscribe, and all that good shit. Like I said, tomorrow we're having another BluePrint video on the second part of how my perks are going to work.